So glad you're with us on the Allon Exchange. Brad Johansson along with Jane Brittany Hagy, the founders, financial advisors, Allon Planning Partners, and a very special guest with us, Terrell Davis, Pro Football Hall of Famer.
What's going on, Brad? How you doing?
It's nice to have you on.
It's good to be here.
I want to go into, when I sit with you and think about all of the times that you went through, I can't help but want to share with you out there some of the expertise, some of the wisdom that TD brings, who is now in the financial game as well. I want to talk about seizing the opportunity, because I think for a lot of you, seizing the opportunity is right on the cusp right now. A lot of you heading into the red zone of retirement. TD had a moment, and I'm going to bring this up to you, so you take me where you want to go, but it was Japan, believe it or not. Back in the day, your rookie season, you don't even know whether you're going to make the team. As a matter of fact, I'll lead you into the story where you're going into game day and you're about to say, I quit, I'm gone, I'm not even going to show up at the stadium. Take me through this.
All right, so try not to make it too long, but this is 1995.
Okay.
I'm a rookie on the team. I'm the 7th running back on the depth chart.
Seventh.
That means that there's 6 guys ahead of me getting a lot of reps in practice. I'm a 6th-round draft pick, which technically I don't really deserve to have a shot. Really, I think I'm being drafted to be cut, and that's really what 6th-rounders were back then. Just kind of camp bait, get released.
And that was in your head.
That was in my head. So I don't get any burn. We played one preseason game, and we had already gone through a couple of weeks of training camp. I don't play in the first preseason game. Okay. So we play another game, which is against the San Francisco 49ers. We played them in game 1, game 2. We're playing the second game in Tokyo, Japan this time. When we get there, we're down from, it was 8 total backs, and now we only have 4, actually 3 that were healthy, that can actually practice. So I had go from not getting any reps in practice to getting all of the reps in practice.
How'd you do in practice?
Not very good, not very good. We're practicing against the 49ers. Now, this is the 95 49ers. So this is the Steve Young. They just won a Super Bowl. This is a really good team.
Yeah, man.
One of the number 1 defenses in the NFL, and we're practicing against them, and I am just blowing it. I'm blowing my assignments. I'm getting beat on one-on-ones. I don't know what I'm doing out there. So after 3 consecutive days of having the worst practices I've ever had in my entire career, I said, you know what? It's time for me to quit. They're going to cut me anyway, so I might as well just say goodbye to them.
I don't want to embarrass myself anymore.
I'm ready to go. So I go back to the hotel, try to get out of there. Of course, my Japanese isn't great, so I can't book a flight through the front desk. And this is before Travelocity and Expedia and all that stuff. You just can't book a flight with your phone. So I said, you know what? Forget that. When I get back to Denver, I'm going to quit. I'm done. I'd already mentally checked out because they're going to cut me anyway. So, but we have to play a game, so I'll go to the game, and after that, I'll get on the flight with them, go home, and I'm done. Well, I go to the game. I don't dress like I would if I thought I was playing. I have the uniform on, but I'm not prepared. I don't have tape on my ankles. I'm not suited like I would. I don't have anything that's ready to go.
Why would you? You're not going to play.
Right.
I'm not playing. I don't even have a mouthpiece. So game starts. We go through first half of the game. I don't play. So we come out third quarter. All the starters in that game are on the sideline, and they're in plain clothes.
Street clothes now.
Street clothes, right? They're done. But they're huddled at the bench, and I see a bunch of guys eating food. Now, I'm pretty hungry at that time, so I haven't eaten all day. I'm not going to play. Let me go see what these gentlemen are doing down here. Let me go inquire about what's happening. So I go down there, and they're eating hot dogs. Oh, yeah, I'm starving. So I grab a few hot dogs, put it in the belly. I'm good.
A few hot dogs?
I'll say I'll estimate on the low side 5.
Oh my God!
You ate 5 hot dogs.
At least 5 hot dogs. They were good.
Here comes the story, folks.
They were good. So as I'm done with the last hot dog, I hear the special teams coach yell out, 30, get in the game. And so everybody's screaming, 30, 30. And it's me. And he comes to me and he says, hey, are you ready to go? Right there I had a choice. And I looked at it and I'm thinking, my mind is thinking, yes, but my stomach is thinking, no.
Not quite.
And I was like, you know what? I just said yeah, and I wasn't. And I was on no special teams whatsoever.
So you didn't know what you were doing there?
I had no clue. But I just said yes. I go on the field, and we're kicking the ball off.
They put you next to the kicker.
I'm next to the kicker. And I remember my mind just kept I was turning the page. I couldn't believe I was actually in the game.
Yeah.
I'm on the field
So
in an
the switch go
NFL
on?
game. It did. And I realized at that moment, here is the opportunity. Now, it didn't come in the way that I thought it would come in. I thought I'd get my opportunity to run with the ball. But here I am in a game, NFL game, and I got a chance to make a difference, to really impact and make an impression on the coaches. Now, I remind you, again, I don't know where I'm doing. All I know is I'm going to run down there. I'm going to make this tackle. I got to. I have to make this tackle. This is it. And I saw a ball hit, toe hit ball goes up, and I said, I got to go make this. I run down as fast as I could, and I'm the first one down, and I see the returner. He's coming to my left. I run towards him, and it's a beautiful form tackle. Beautiful. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Drive him to the ground, and everybody jumps on me, and they're excited. I'm excited. I go to the sideline, and I got hot dogs coming out of my nose.
Oh, my gosh.
I got hot dogs.
I told you the story was coming.
It's coming. It's coming. So I'm throwing up. I got hot dogs coming out. I got my helmet off on the sideline. Pretty excited about what happened. And the running backs coach comes over. His name is Bobby Turner. And he sees my condition. He asks, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." He says, "I hope you're okay because you're going in
Wow.
the next series on
Yeah.
as a running back."
Yeah.
Wow.
And you just think about that.
Horrible week of practice.
Think
make a
about that.
tackle,
I'd already
throwing
quit.
Up,
You're already
and
done.
you're
I
done.
had quit. I had already said I am done. And look what happened. And you got this chance where we don't see a lot of times the opportunities that we envision. And then most times they don't come in the form we see them. They come in a different form. And I had not expected to start or see my first opportunity come as an NFL running back by running down, tackling somebody.
Right.
Hot dogs,
'Cause you
the
didn't
Hall of
envision.
Fame.
Hot dogs, the Hall of Fame. There you go, Brad.
Great.
I want you to translate
Hot
that,
dogs,
you
the Hall of
guys.
Fame. Yes.
on-
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get that
Well, that's it.
correlation.
Him being ready. Him being ready to
You might
seize the
need to
opportunity.
trademark hot dogs,
I'm
the
at
Hall
Hot
of Fame,
dogs,
right
hot
there.
dogs.
To Hall of Fame. It's already there.
So,
Bam.
Let's talk
So
about
that's what
seizing
I see.
opportunity in financial terms, because TD's in the financial
Yeah.
game as well, and understanding in the preparation for this. A lot of us say, I don't have the opportunity, and he didn't know he had the opportunity at that moment. How does that translate now?
You got to begin with what's in your hands.
That's right.
What do you have? What you had to work with was that moment where you're like, man, I got to make this play. Same thing when it comes to our finances. You may think, well, I don't have enough, or I haven't worked hard enough, or maybe
That's
I've
right.
worked really hard and I still feel like I don't have enough. But what's in your hands? What do you actually have to work with? And becoming educated enough to be able to make the most of what you have. Sometimes that's what it looks like in finance.
Well, and typically, opportunity comes wrapped in a problem. Most of the time. And
like
because
that.
it's an
True.
opportunity that we don't want to,
Yeah.
you know, we got the special teams coach coming over saying, third, you get in the game. I don't even play special teams, coach. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm running the ball. I'm not hitting people, right? It's the same thing when folks come into the office, we may give them some ideas about where they're at that they haven't thought about before.
Right.
Well, a lot of times we are that special teams coach that says, hey, have you thought about
Right.
doing it this way or doing it that way? Or have you thought about your tax planning and how much you can save on this side if you're not paying Uncle Sam 30% of what you're bringing in, right?
Okay, you're bringing
And so
that up.
That's what we're looking
I
at.
want to get to this because I think this is a seize your opportunity moment for a lot of people who don't know. We're in the third greatest marginal tax bracket that we've ever seen in U.S. history. And nobody feels like you're in a great situation. But this is sunsetting at the end of 2025.
That's right.
In seizing the opportunity of where we are right now, you guys have something that people can go to get an idea of what that looks like?
Right. We have,
tool.
an excellent tool to help folks realize their taxable liability. So it's exchangemytaxbill.com. Exchangemytaxbill.com. Check out that website, and you're able to put in a few figures, your income, few things, bits of information, and it calculates for you what your taxable liability will be. So that it really is one of those light bulb moments
Yeah.
for folks to realize, oh, I didn't realize I had that much in taxable income when we're looking at retirement or my investment accounts, and it brings that to light. Where
But it
can
allows
be
us to create an
addressed.
opportunity to help folks create a situation where they don't have the biggest problem on their hands of the large tax bills. We are in the third most advantageous
Right.
tax season we've ever had as a country, right? 2025, the end of 2025, that is set to go away. We don't know what's going to happen between now and 2026, right? We have no idea. But what I do know is if it goes back to even the old tax law, you need to do some advanced tax planning now. So exchangemytaxbill.com, if you'll just go put a few pieces of information in, it will open your eyes to the opportunity that you have to take care of saving dollars on taxes.
Because understand, it's not what you have, it's what you get to keep.
That's right.
Because the government is your partner in all of this. And so if you have a tool in your tool belt that you can use, this might be it. exchangemytaxbill.com. Once you get a chance to see this, you can't unsee it. And I don't know, maybe we're not the partners for you, but you have to know what this is. And if you're working with somebody who hasn't shared with you what your tax liability is, maybe now's the time to come into the office, 866-691-7317, or click the QR code on your screen, exchangemytaxbill.com. We'll be back to talk about seizing more of your opportunities after this.
Hi, I'm Jay Hagy, owner of Allon Planning Partners. Well, you've probably heard a lot about Roth conversions lately. First of all, what are they? And second of all, how could they benefit you? A Roth conversion means getting your money out of those tax-deferred accounts like 401ks and traditional IRAs where you've been kicking the tax can down the road for so many years. But really, the question should be, is kicking it down the road really in your best interest? You have a partner in those deferred accounts. It's Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam is going to take his cut from every dime that grows in that account when you decide to take it out. So let's give Uncle Sam the boot from those retirement accounts and let every penny of future growth be tax-free. Well, with the highest national debt we've ever seen, taxes are not likely to decrease anytime soon, placing a giant tax bullseye on your back. So a Roth conversion is getting your money out of those tax-deferred accounts, paying the taxes now while they're on sale, by the way, and then getting them into accounts where your future dollars can grow tax-free the rest of your life. To experience this tax-free retirement, you do need to sit down with a fiduciary, someone who specializes in retirement planning. So just call the number you see here or scan the QR code and let us help remove that tax bullseye off of your back.
Glad you're with us on the Allon Exchange. Brad Johansson with Jane Brittany Hagy and our special guest, Pro Hall of Famer. Goodness gracious, TD.
I like how you say that. It just rolls off the tongue.
It's just there,
Pro
baby.
Football Hall.
I want to go back to the story because that wasn't really the end of the story on seizing the opportunity. If you missed us early on, TD was talking about his rookie year. A hot dog moment, hot dog the Hall of Fame moment in Japan. And after he makes the hit and gets told to go back in the game, you go back into the game, you had to go beyond that because you still hadn't practiced well enough to know the playbook well enough to go in the game and know the plays. And you had to have somebody assist you play by play to get to the point, draw in the dirt, in the turf, whatever it may have been. And you were successful in finishing that up in that game that led you to making the team that leads to the Hall of Fame. And I don't think we minimize this. This is a moment in time that we all get. What was important about having somebody by your side who had perspective, who knew you were a little short on what you had done to prepare and needed to be a little bit proactive on this.
And you said it well. I couldn't have done it without my coach. It would have been impossible because I wasn't prepared to go in as a running back. You know, I ran down on kicks. That was kind of get in there and just improvise, do what you can do. I knew the basics of stopping somebody running down the field.
Hit the guy with a ball.
Hit it, go get the ball.
Yeah.
See ball, go get it. But a running back is more detailed. It's protections. It's now running through the right hole, understanding the calls. So, my coach, once he came back to me, saw me with the hot dogs, throwing off the hot dogs through the nose, asked was I okay? And so he sat down, got on his knees, and we're on the turf. It's not dirt because it's in a dome. And he's got a pen, he's got a marker, he's got some other prompts. And he's just like showing me the plays and what's supposed to happen on these plays. Yeah. And every play, he's making sure that he's relaying to me what exactly I have to do. So he's bringing in a wide receiver that comes in, that's substituting somebody out, and he's specifically talking to me, hey, TD, Bob, you have a check through on this play, or you have backside swing route. and he was giving me every play.
Literal play-by-play.
Play-by-play.
So you were physically prepared, like, you know.
I don't know if I was physically prepared. I guess so.
Your body was ready.
Yes.
You played football before.
Yeah.
You were physically there, but mentally and emotionally, you may not have been where you needed to be because you were eating hot dogs, right? Like, I mean, that's
I'd
what
already
I was
checked
saying.
out.
That's what I'm saying. You checked out mentally. So without a coach, and I'm trying to pull this back around to the finances too. Like, you could be physically. We meet a lot of people who are physically prepared.
Yeah.
They have the money in their accounts. They know how to spend and save, right? They know that. They're physically prepared.
Yep.
But mentally and emotionally, when you go into this red zone of retirement and you're walking into the next season, you need a coach to say, hey, do you know this wide receiver is going to do this? Do you know that your tax bill is going to be this on those tax deferred accounts? Do you know that you're allocated in a way that could actually injure you if you are physically prepared?
Yeah.
You can get injured by just not allocating your funds in this way. So you need a coach that understands the game plan, that understands what you physically can and cannot do, and helps you mentally and emotionally get to that next level. And I think that's a beautiful story about how you got to that spot, right? But how we help people every day who are physically, they've put their blood, sweat, and tears, they sacrificed their whole lives creating these income streams and saving, but one mistake, one mental mistake, they could be injured and their career's over. Right, so we have to make sure that people are mentally and emotionally in check, and we put a lot of things together to make sure they're proactive and not reactive.
Okay, go TD.
No, I was going to say another thing that a coach does that would speak to being an advisor is a coach is going to put you in a position to make a play.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's it. The coach's job is to put you in a position
To be
to be successful.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're doing it on your own, who is doing that for you?
Yeah.
It's hard to put yourself in a position to make a play.
If you guys are talking about proactive and reactive, I want to go to this because we deal with this so much, Brittany. If there's a common thing of talking to people about what I wish I would have done, and we're talking about the what ifs, man, if I only had, almost everyone entering this red zone phase, what would you have done differently? I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have planned for this sooner. I wish I would have talked to someone sooner. I wish I would have listened to somebody who knew a little bit more. Common for you as well?
Yeah, we hear that very frequently, folks saying, man, I just didn't know. I didn't realize the impact this taxable liability was going to have on me.
And ignorance is no longer an excuse.
It's not. Let this be your wake-up call. This is it. So here's what it comes down to. You cannot escape the reality of tomorrow by evading it today.
That's right.
And many folks want to avoid and evade and put off. You can't escape it. It may feel good in the moment, just like, I don't want to think about that right now. I don't want to deal with that right now. But if you avoid it, it prolongs that pain instead of let's just hit this head on. Let's address this and let's take a look at it. And oftentimes it's not as hard as people think it is because it's built up in their minds.
Almost guaranteed.
Unattainable. Like, how am I going to know about taxes and income and estate planning, legal documents, all these things? But that is where we come in as the coach.
That's right.
To really walk out the process together. Allon Planning Partners, we're partnering with those we work with. That's very intentional to set them up for success, to walk them through a very specific process to ensure there's nothing left unturned.
All right, take me to the tax exchange that you have that people can go to now to see this if we're going to be proactive.
ExchangeMyTaxBill.com. That's a website and a resource that we have established for folks to see real time, to get a report and a detailed information piece based on your specific situation. So your income, your numbers, your investments, what that looks like for you. And it will run this report and run the figures to show you what your taxable liability is. Because before you can address the problem, you've got to acknowledge the problem. And a lot of times folks don't even realize that it is a problem.
Yeah.
Let's bring some light to that today. This is an issue. And if you do not plan for taxes, taxes will eat you alive in retirement. There has to be a plan for them. When you plan for them, you get to keep more. You get to give more. You get to pass more on. You get to do more of what you envision in that stage of life. And that's why we love to help folks live it out.
So why don't you come in for a complimentary appointment? You sign up for a complimentary appointment. You get Jay and Brittany's book as well. And come in, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. And therefore, as I said, ignorance is no longer an excuse. You have to move forward. We've talked about failing. It's only failing if you stay down. Let's fail forward. 866-691-7317 or click the QR code. Make sure you text your tax status right now. Understand where it is so that we can move forward on it. We'd love to see you in the office. Call the number, click the QR code. We're back after this.
Do you know how taxes will impact your financial future? We meet with many families day after day who have saved years for retirement in a 401k, 403b, or an IRA. But they come to realize they don't truly have a financial plan. They have questions like, how do I turn my money into income streams to last me through retirement? How do I know if I'm best positioned for market volatility and inflation concerns? And how do I ensure I'm not overpaying in taxes? This is one of the greatest tax windows in history, and now is the time to take advantage of this discount while you can. The good news is, we specialize in areas such as proper portfolio allocation, retirement income strategies, and tax planning. When you meet with us, you'll walk away with solutions, with answers to your questions. You'll walk away with a written, comprehensive financial plan. Reach out today for your complimentary portfolio review and tax analysis.
So grateful you chose to spend your time with us on Allon Exchange. We only have a few minutes left. Our special guest, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Terrell Davis, and we're talking about seizing the opportunity. From that moment on, life changed. Hot dogs to Hall of Fame. But, I mean, you said the trigger went off, and it was in the moment, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
But from there, the work doesn't stop. It's not like, okay, finally I made it, now I'm good. Now it gets more difficult because you have to be more diligent and you have to be understanding now, more proactive about where you want to end up.
Absolutely. And the example of that would be, there's especially in sports, right? You have guys who proactively go out and try to strengthen their bodies, right? They have a masseuse, they have a biomechanic, they have a chiropractor, they're eating well. Mm-hmm. Proactively going and doing things where I have an ice tank in my I had to go get a big old ice tank that I sit in every time after a game, versus getting hurt and then trying to get healed, or getting hurt and then searching out, oh, let me go get a chiropractor after my neck has already been cracked a few times. Like that's the difference. So I was proactively enhancing my body, trying to build it as strong as I could, trying to be available. There's a thing that your talents are only as good as your availability, basically.
Absolutely.
And so those are the things that I was focusing on, trying to grow and get better every single day, every week, every year, and not responding to something that happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's really worked out.
There are real life consequences to just reacting, right, and being reactive. There are real life benefits to being proactive and responding, right? And so that's kind of what you're saying. Physically, definitely when you're playing the game of football, it's very physical. But in your finances, when you are proactive, there are real life benefits to that, right? I don't have to be led by my emotions. I don't have to worry what the stock market does every day because I know I have balance and diversification, right? I'm not worried so much because I have proper allocation planning. I don't have to worry about how much of this money do I get to keep and how much do I have to give to Uncle Sam because I have a tax plan, right? I know how I'm going to get to the money that I have saved, and then I get to support the family and leave a legacy for the people behind me, and my children don't have to think about this, right? Real benefits to being proactive versus being reactive and saying, you know what, when I get injured, then I'll worry about getting healthy, right? Or when I lose the money, then, oh man, I should go talk to someone about my finances because I just lost a lot of money, right? That's not the time to come in. The time to come in is now when maybe things, you're like, well, I've got a good 401k account, I've got a good investment account, I've got things going in the right direction. Now's the time to plan to be proactive so you don't play from injury, you play ahead instead of from behind.
Yeah, that's good because we talk too a lot about responding versus reacting, and reacting being driven by emotion. Responding, you're pre-deciding. I'm going to pre-decide if this happens. Here's what I'm going to do. And in the financial sense, that can bring such peace of mind. Think about it for couples. Couples, we don't like to talk about this kind of stuff, but if something were to happen to one of us, I need to know what would I do? How would I move forward financially? Right? That's what we're talking about here. What would that look like for us? And having that pre-decided, if this were to happen, I don't want that to happen. I don't hope for that to happen. But man, if this happens, this is my next step.
You can respond appropriately.
And really, that actually gives more peace of mind when you address those fears. We talked earlier about the two ditches of fear and greed when we're walking along this financial journey. We can get caught in that. And so it really helps eliminate some of that fear when we just address it head on. Let's take a look at this. Let's actually proactively plan for it and ease some of the fears surrounding it.
This is the 5-pronged plan that you guys have talked about, and in dealing with the investments, dealing with the income engine that you're trying to work with. Healthcare, as we haven't really mentioned, becomes a huge thing in later years. There are no guarantees. There's no guarantee that you are going to get to, as you said, everybody has a chance, but seizing these moments. I'm going to turn my Social Security on at 62. Well, you have to be alive at 62 to turn it on. Or I'm going to wait till 70. Are you going to? There are no guarantees, which is why you stress putting this 5-piece plan in place, because if you're missing one of them, it could be disastrous.
It could be detrimental for you. And you also have to know that we create a plan with available flexibility.
Yes.
Right? Because you do have to change in different stages of the game.
Right.
You do have to change when life throws wrenches at you, right? You have to have a plan that can be flexible. And so I just want to encourage everyone listening today, be proactive. Get a plan. Come in and see us. You know, we offer complimentary consultations week in and week out for families just like yours who you may not know whether you have a full 5-prong plan or not. Do you know how much you're going to owe in taxes? Do you know your income plan and your health care plan, your estate plan? Make sure the government doesn't reach in your back pocket if you're no longer here, right? So we want to make sure that people walk away with a proactive plan in place so that they have peace, not fear and doubt and dread, but they have peace of mind of what can happen in the future with their finances.
Awesome. TD, thanks for being with us to help share.
I'm excited.
Let's go, TD.
I'm excited. I'm fired up.
Put you in the game, man.
I'm fired up.
We're
Let's
looking
go.
forward to seeing you in the office. Thanks again for your time. We appreciate it. Call the number on your screen. Don't waste any more time. Click the QR code. The consultation is complimentary. The book is also free as well. But your time is important. It's your retirement. It's your money. Seize your opportunity now. We'll see you next time.